Hi, Trish Springsteen, public speaking coach, mentor and author. Let's talk conclusions. A very important part of any speech for a speaker. How often have you started speaking, whether it's just answering a question or having conversation with someone, and you've gone on and you thought, oh yes, I'll talk about that, and then you continue and you talk about this, and next thing you know, you've rambled on for 3 or 4, 5, 10 minutes even, and not knowing how to actually stop. You're not sure whether you've said enough, whether you've got your structure there, or basically you're not quite sure what to do. So quite often you might ramble on and then stop. Now, that isn't actually the sort of credibility you really want to come across as. You want to be competent, you want to be concise, you want to be coherent. So conclusions are a very vital part of being all of those three. Let's look at what we need to do in a conclusion. A conclusion has two parts. One, it summarises what you've just been telling and sharing with everybody. Now, your conclusion in that respect will depend on what your aim for your presentation was. Was it to inform, to inspire, or to instruct? Any one of those three, or even parts of that, will determine what you would include in your conclusion. The other part of the conclusion is what you want your audience, or the person that you've been speaking to take away. Now, that second part of the conclusion is often the part that most speakers leave out. Yes, they'll put their conclusion in by saying, this is what I've said to you, this is what I've been telling you, 1, 2, 3, and they'll sum it up nicely. But an important part of any conclusion is the challenge, is the call to arms. It's what you want the person or the people that you've been speaking to take away from what you've been saying in the last 5 minutes or 30 minutes or hour. It's no good going through and giving everybody all the information you've got. It's no good inspiring them to go out and do something if you don't actually tell them what it is you want them to go out and do. So conclusion has two parts. It summarises what you've been saying in your presentation. But most importantly, it tells the audience or the person that you're speaking to what you want them to do with the information that you've just given them. Now, it could be that you've just been giving them some instructions. So that part would be, the challenge would be, go and do what I've told you. It could be that you've been giving them information that you want them to go and sign a petition. So it might be, now that I've given you 1, 2, 3 pieces of information, now please go and sign that petition. It could be that you've been challenging them to change some of their thinking. You've been giving them all that motivation, all that information, but you need to tell them what to do with it. So part of your conclusion there would be, now that I have inspired you, I've given you some tips to change your thinking, I want you to go out there, put those things into place, be inspired, and look at how you can change your motivation, your attitude. So conclusion not only wraps it up and tells our audience that we're finished, it leaves them with the things that we want them to remember, and it gives them direction on how to do or what to do with those things that we've been telling them. A conclusion is a vital part of any presentation, any speech. In a speech, it nicely rounds it up. In speaking with conversation-wise with your team members or your clients, it stops you from waffling, and it gives a nice, concise, coherent finish to what you've been saying. So I'm Trish Springsteen, public speaking coach, mentor and author, and I'm going to conclude my presentation for now. Have a great day.
If you enjoyed this video, more videos are available at Trischel's YouTube channel.